spend the day with me as a second semester nursing student taking her first exam in pharmacology. This is technically our first exam in this class, but it's not what you think when you hear exam. It's our first dosage calculations exam, so we have to get a 90% on this and able to pass meds at clinical. There were a few questions we hadn't gotten on homework, so not knowing how to do those, I pretty much knew I'd have to retake, which is so common in nursing school. So if you have to do that as well, don't beat yourself up about it. I think most of my class had to, and that's okay. The real kicker that made me feel so silly is not knowing how many ounces were in a cup. So there goes 2 questions right there. I used to calculate that all the time when I worked in the nursing home way back in the day, but in that moment, I could not remember it for the life of me, knowing those 2 questions were going to make or break that definite retake. Anyways, the second half of the exam points is for a med pass, which means we have a simulation we have to do this afternoon. We're going to be given a fake med list and show how we would administer each med, and in hindsight, we had very little to stress about, but I will say the difference between syringe size and gauge size is just still so confusing to me. I'm sure I'll get that with time. We waited a little too long, and we're one of the last names on the list, so I didn't plan on being at school for this long today. My friends and I did take time to know the different types of injections, what they're used for, where they go, etc., but that's hard to do when you don't have supplies to reference to, so we did the best we could with what we had. You see me use a whiteboard all the time, so there's no surprise there, but also we could have actually gone to the lab, and I'm just realizing that now, so I'll have to keep that in mind for next time. We reviewed in a study room, then moved the party into the classroom beside where the simulation was, but like I said, it turned out to be just fine, and that was my day. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow along for more nursing school content.